snow. It didn't actually stick to the ground, but it would stick on top of cars, and people are making their snowmans on the cars. Just on top of the cars, just a little bit, just enough to gather up into a snowball. I had a lot of menudo. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. But I think that the members there always wanted to give the white guy the menudo to see his reaction. And so I'd eat it, and it was fine. Just what's on the list. I remember I brought a little travel iron, thinking it's good to go from place to place. Just bring a regular iron. you use it every day. No, just what's on the list. Yeah, there's dogs everywhere, and they'll bark at you when I walk by, but I wasn't afraid of them, so I kept walking. But I remember once I noticed my companion wasn't with me, and I looked back, and he was half a block backed up in a corner, because he didn't like that dog, and I had to go rescue my companion from the dog. So just remember who's bigger and who's boss, and you're fine. I refurbished a swamp cooler for somebody, doing some service. I remember once, late at night, we were sharing an apartment with another set of missionaries, and they called me up. Elder Borup, get up here, we need your help. And I went upstairs to their bedroom, and that's where the bathroom was. And the bathroom, there's something wrong with the bathroom sink. Needed some plumbing done. And I don't know why they called me, but they just figured I could fix it. And I did. I played around with it and fixed the plumbing, and you're out on your own. It's just you and a couple guys your age, so you learn how to do the things that you may rely on your parents for. Don't be afraid to open your mouth. The priesthood is real. The restored gospel. The priesthood is a real power, and I learned that because the adversary is real also, and he'll work against that. The bishop has the keys to the ward, and you got to remember that on your mission, that you got to include him with a lot of things. It's not just about you as the missionary, but you're working within a ward with other priesthood holders there and other leaders. Yeah. We were walking home near our home, and we see this guy getting beat up with a baseball bat. And, there's people around watching him just being beat up. And, we thought, what do we do? And the closer we got to him, I noticed the guy doing the beating was our landlord. And we tried to calm him down a little bit, but he wouldn't listen to us. And, we talked to some other people. Well, we didn't want to get in the mix too much and get beat ourselves, but we knew the guy, so we tried to calm him down and told him to wait for the cops. And he says, "Oh, the cops are coming!" And he was mad. He was beating the life out of this guy, and it's kind of scary to see. I thought, well, we got to make sure our rent's paid on time. This was our landlord doing this. Come to find out, this guy was trying to rape his daughter. So I don't know if I would have done the same. I don't know, but I've never seen that before my eyes. Something so graphically violent. I had a lot of opportunities to give blessings to people, blessings of healing or counsel. As a missionary, I was brand new with that. That was weird. I remember the first time I was in the MTC, a sister in our district asked for a blessing. But you got to jump right into that. And I remember one time, this woman had been sick for a while. She'd been throwing up a lot and asked for a blessing. And I gave her this blessing. And, this is kind of my first experience with feelings, words coming into my mind, what I should say. I remember blessing her that it was good for her family. Just bless her with patience. But don't worry too much about it. It's a good thing for her family. I thought, well, what kind of a blessing, he gives someone with the flu, don't worry about it, be patient, it's good. And she kind of wondered, what was that, Later, she finds out she was pregnant. and didn't know it. That was morning sickness. So it was just part of something that was very good for her family, and I didn't know that at the time. So that was kind of a testimony builder to me. There was another time I was out teaching, and the discussion started pretty well, and then the person became a little bit hostile, or was preaching to me some untruths, and we learn not to Bible bash or argue with people. But there's one time I felt it was very important that I testified, and this was fairly early on in my mission when I didn't speak really good Spanish, but I remember feeling very powerful and testifying to her the truthfulness of the restored gospel, that God does speak to prophets. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but what I remember about that experience is I spoke perfect Spanish. I was brand new greenie in the mission and was always really trying to think about what I was saying. But at that point, I didn't need to think about it. I could just speak very clearly in perfect Spanish and testify to this woman. And I don't know why the Spirit wanted this woman testified. I don't know what she felt, but I knew it was important for me to do that. So I think, wow, that was like the gift of tongues, because I was given perfect speech for that moment, and then it went away, and then I was back to how I was. That and the climate, it was hot. Have fun, relax. You don't have to go and get married right away, or you don't have to know exactly what you're doing right away. But at the same time, remember how you lived on your mission. You lived by the Spirit, the Spirit helped you know what to do. And because of that, I probably did get married right away, but because the Spirit was guiding me. I got home and I was raking the leaves one day with my mom, and she asked me, "What are you thinking?" And I told her, "I think I need to go to college in Twin Falls, Idaho." I didn't know why. And she goes, "Well, maybe you should go do that right now." And so I dropped the rake and I drove to Twin Falls. It's a couple hours away from where I lived. And I got everything set up. And I went there and I met my wife right away. And I was only there that one semester, but I know why I was supposed to go there. I was following the Spirit, and I went and I met my wife, and we got married and moved back to Boise. So.